Hi, today I'm going to show you how to do my bohemian. These are fashion inspired. So this right here, and I did this with Sharpies, so we're going to stamp with Sharpies also today. It's a really pretty, real soft, pretty design. So I went ahead and got the base coat on here to save a little time. This is a gray. It's actually by True Gel and it's called Feather Gray, and then I just put a little bit of this, it's called Night Shimmer by Jalish, over it to give a little bit of a shimmer. But you can use regular polish too, you know, cream, or if you want it to have a little shimmer, but just make sure that your polish dries really good before it's time to stamp on it. So here are my Sharpies, and I will put all the information in the information box of what I'm using today, colors and everything. Okay, so the plate I'm using is by Moyra, Florality 2. It's this one right here. And we're using this image right here, believe it or not, to give you this design. So anyway, let's go ahead and get going with that. Now, also, before I forget, I'm not going to do the whole image. I'm not going to use this ginormous flower here, although I probably could on this ginormous nail I'm going to use. But on my mani, I just used these two flowers here, and then some of this greenery around here. I just didn't use this big one right here. So we're going to go ahead and start coloring this in. And sorry, I wish you could see it better, but all I'm doing is just coloring in, coloring over the image parts that I want. And I'm doing the green right now, for the leafy parts, swirly leafy parts. And I'm just using my Sharpie to color in what I want it colored in. And then the rest of it, so I'm going to use this orange color. Now on mine, I think I actually used a little more of a peach color, but I want this to show up better, and it really is pretty. And that's one of the things I've discovered about using the Sharpies, is that it really gives a softer look. So whatever color you think your Sharpie is, it's going to usually come out softer than that. So so you might want to have maybe a shade darker or brighter than what you want it to come out, because it is a little softer, a little more faded looking than when you're just using only stamping polishes. Okay, so I think I got that pretty good, and there we go. So I'm going to also add a little bit of this in the center. It's a kind of a darkish pink color. Add some of that in there too. And maybe a little bit of this lighter, brighter pink also. Because the only bummer is you could do this after, and I've done this, but what I found out the hard way is that if you do Sharpies after and then you go to put your polish over it, it's gonna smear more so than when you're than doing it this way. So I'm gonna use my white stamping polish because I've got everything. Let me show you. See, everything's colored in with my Sharpie that I want colored in. And so now I just need to go over this Sharpie, everything is colored in with a Sharpie, with this white stamping polish. Now, you might be able to try it with regular polish, and that might be fine. I haven't done it that way. I haven't wanted to take a chance yet, but anyway, so this is how I'm doing it. And I wipe off my brush to get the Sharpie color off on my paper towel before I put it back in my bottle. So I'm using my Clear Jelly Bling Stamper, my Bundle Monster Scraping, and I'm just going to scrape this way and roll and get off this excess that I don't want. And we're going to go ahead and just stamp this on. Okay, so I'm going to kind of, this thing is ginormous, like I said, so it doesn't really, it's not probably going to cover everything, but it should be good enough. And then let's see, let's add a little more. We had some left on here. I'm going to add a little more up at the top. Yeah, it looks pretty. Okay, so there we go. So see what I'm saying about that it's, you know, okay, let's see, how about down there? It's kind of more faded, you know, than, you know, what you thought. So you just kind of have to play with it, you know, and see how you like it. And like I said, you can do some more Sharpie if you want to make it darker right now, but the only thing is you have to, you know, I would definitely not use a polish over it. Top coat, I would use, if gel, it probably wouldn't smear the Sharpie, but with polishes, anything I've tried so far, it smears with the Sharpie. So if I'm going to do gel over it, I mean, these are really pretty just the way they are. But if you want to add more color, you know, if you want it darker here, then you could do the Sharpie. So I think I probably will just add a little bit more. Just kind of, you know, a little more in the center. Just to, you know, kind of show you how that goes. Just kind of blot it with my finger a little bit. See how much darker that makes it. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of this lighter, brighter pink in there too. Just a little bit more. Just kind of, let me see if I can do it so you can see it a little better. Just kind of, just lightly, just adding a little bit of a fan out. Just really a little, just a little bit, just real light-handed. I don't want to be heavy-handed. I don't want it to look like, you know, I drew on there with a Sharpie. But that gives it a little more, you know, darker color there. And then the only thing else that I did, now see, these ones turned out pinker, you know, than these other ones did. So, you know, then I just would have done more of the orange than I did, to make it, you know, more this way, more of the orange Sharpie before I stamped. But also what I did on these ones, and you don't have to do it because it's, you know, it's pretty just like it is, but what I did on these is I took some acrylic paint, watered it down with a detail brush, and just kind of went around it. So I'll do a little bit of that real quick, just to kind of give you an idea what I'm talking about. So you want a tile or something, I just use this thing. It works great. And I just put a little bit of water on here, and then some paint, probably about half and half, you know, however you like it. And then I'm just going to kind of mix it up together, and then just carefully, what I did on mine is I just did a, like, see this circle? You can see just kind of a circle around the center dark part. So I think I have to look at this to do it. Sorry. Maybe you can see it if I do it this way. Let's try. So white paint dries fast, just like white stampy polish does. So you don't want to wait too long. I'm going to do another one on this one over here too. Doesn't have to be perfect. And the only reason I did that is because it gives it a little bit more of a, you know, detail, plus it gives it a little more of a, like, hand-painted look. So I'm going to kind of go along next to some of these little swirls, little green swirls down here too. Just kind of give it a little bit more. I don't know if you can see what I did so far. Let's do it that way. You see where the white little circles are around the dark part, and I just kind of have swirled around some of this green, you know, just along maybe some of this green, you know, line here and there. And if you wanted to, you could go around your, you know, flower a little bit too, if you want to. You don't have to, but if you wanted to, you could kind of just go around the edge a little bit with some of your white, you know, paint. Just a little bit, almost like you're shadowing it. See, it's not perfect. It doesn't have to be. And it just, you know, it gives it a little more detail and a little more like if you hand painted the whole thing. Look. So I would go ahead and put a top coat of gel over this so that, you know, I don't, since I added that Sharpie afterwards, if I hadn't have added the Sharpie, if I'd, you know, gotten it exactly how I wanted it when I stamped it, if I was happy with it like it was, and it was pretty just like it was, if I hadn't added the Sharpie anyway on top of my stamped image, you know, then I could have went ahead and put a regular polished top coat over this, like a Bundle Monster, you know, smudge-free top coat. But with the Sharpie, even with the Bundle Monster smudge-free, sometimes it will smear. So I would just go float over the top of this gel polish, clear gel polish top coat, and it'd be great. So anyway, I hope this helped, and it really is pretty. It's fun, as you saw. It's easy, you know, and it's a lot of fun doing the Sharpies using the stamping polish, and it gives it a beautiful look. So anyway, please like and subscribe. I hope you have fun doing this, and please also hit the bell icon so that they'll give you notifications to let you know when my next new video comes out, which will be really soon. So have a great weekend. Bye guys.